Then scoring system, entire NBFC or the banks or anything which lends, right, depends on a robust scoring system, right? How do you think the companies like early salary, just money, all these companies are able to lend you guys, right? They have a in-house scoring system. And how do they make it? I'll just give you a quick glance. They take lots of data. They scrape data from your social profile. They get data from Sibyl. Maybe I'm just giving some words which you might not be aware of, but slowly, when the session progresses and when we do following sessions, you will start picking up all these words which are which you should know as a data scientist, and you will start knowing those things, right? Sibyl and all that, Perfuse. These are the lenders who give us. These are the units which give us data, not lenders, right? So they give us what is. So if I hit Sibyl, right, they will give me so much data about me, ki what kind of loans I have, what is the outstanding, did I ever default in the past, if I defaulted, what was the tenor of default, did I come back again. So these are the kind of data points they give us, which help our models to learn better. So it's like a human which is taught, if a person is doing so and so activity and he has done so and so defaults in the past, how likely a person having the similar characteristic will default, right? So you're doing a lot of association, right? In a very layman term, recommendation engine is nothing but a association engine. We try to find lookalikes, right? That's the third thing. The final thing is the interaction part. So most of you miss out on this. Being a data scientist, you need to know how to interact with the end user, right? And as well, and also how do you present your things properly, right? If you have built an awesome model and you are not able to explain it, right, everything goes for a toss, right? The confidence is not built up. People don't believe whether the prediction coming out of this system, that black box, is relevant, or is it correct, or is it, what is the confidence interval, they don't know, right? So this is something which is very necessary, right? uh, so yeah. So what I would like you to tell, ki when you, so now you know what the data scientist is, right? So there are few things which, being a data scientist, you need to follow, right? uh, First is, for any problem statement, have a problem statement very clear in your head, right? If you don't clearly understand what the end user is looking out for, let's say if I have to run a campaign, right, or maybe I have to score some, I have to make a scoring system which tells me whether to give loan to that person or not. If I don't know the proper explanation, right, then I will not be able to go ahead with this. So first thing is, understand what is the business problem. Collect all the possible data which you can collect, because many times when you do the data collection, you will find a lot of junk data. You have to do a lot of cleanup and all that, right? Then you go for a data validation, checking whether there is anything anomalous. Do I need some pruning, do I need some cleaning, do I need to do some standardization? That is something which you look for. Then comes your analysis part. That is the most important part, which most of you miss out, and you directly jump to the model fitting. And I'm telling you, that is the biggest mistake a data scientist can do. And this is somewhere you actually get interviewed, right? These are the things which a interviewer definitely ask, right? They will, I'll tell you how do we do. We give a business problem, right? We ask you what kind of data you will look for. We always, as an interviewer, I will always look out for what you can think out of the box, right? Fitting a model is something, if you don't know, you will be taught. If you know, great, right? But the pre thing is something which we always look out for, right? So then, so you need to know what kind of data it is, what is missing, what kind of imputation is required, and all these things you need to look out for. Then comes the analysis part, right? That is called EDA. Many people call it exploratory data analysis, many people just call it analysis. So whatever, so you should be aware of the terms as well. When somebody says I want to see an EDA, he actually wants to see an exploratory data analysis. And it's a exhaustive data analysis wherein you do both. you do inferential, you do descriptive, both kind of data analysis, right? So you need to know both the pieces, like what is the data, what is, how many is the, how much is missing data, this is what I can infer from this data. And if I have to do scoring basis this data, these are the columns which make sense, and these are the columns using that we might create some feature columns, right? So these are the things you need to look out for. Then you visualize the data, you see whether there is any anomaly. So why do you visualize the data? I'll tell you. Let's say I'm trying to see what will be the pass rate of a class, right? Whether the class may, how many people will pass, right? So let's say we have age as a variable, we have experience as a variable. I'm talking about board infinity class, right? Experience as a variable, we have the stream as a variable, right? All that, right? Now I plot one histogram on the experience, right? And I see that there is a spike at experience of 1 to 2 year, right? And I see a lot of people with 1 to 2 year of experience are getting job into data science, right? So this is something which is actually molding the entire data, right? So that is a very inference, very important point to emphasize on, right? So when you visualize your things, right, you get to know more about the data. So visualization is very important. So whenever you get any problem, you do an EDA, and if you're not visualizing it, you are making a very big mistake. Then comes your model fitting, visualizing the end output. I don't know how many of you have done it, but after fitting a model, how many of you you visualize it? I don't know. So when you train, when you test the when you know check the validation, how many of you see what, how my curve looks after fitting the model, right? So this is a very crucial part which generally we miss on. And many times when everything is done, during the visualization we get to know there is something missing and we need to rework on it, right? So data science is all about patience, rework and rework, right? Then the last part is your decision making. So you have seen, right? It's a like 1 month job which comes to an end with a decision. You have to give loan to this person, or maybe if we refer to the example of board infinity students getting into a data science job, these are very small statements to make, but yeah, definitely a lot of work need to be put in, right? So yeah, so this all sounds very easy, but definitely there is a lot of input which you guys need to put in, right? And we will start in this session. So this is the first session of the entire thing. It will be this entire course will stretch to at least 6, 7, 8 sessions, wherein we will cover every aspect of data science, and everywhere will definitely help you out with the complete hand holding. How do you do it, and what is right to do it, and what is wrong when you see such data, what should be the first thing you should be doing, and all these things will be told. So these are the starting things which I just spoke. Then this is the entire part which we will be covering in the entire series. What we just did: statistics and mathematics for data science we will do. We will emphasize on R for programming, data wrangling, data pre-processing, even visualization. We can do awesome visualization in R. I use it a lot, though I am heading data science, but many times I do it. Then comes your machine learning part, wherein you will be learning regression, supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning. Then you will be learning classification problems. How do we solve it, right? Each of these parts will be completely hands-on. So what I need from you guys is you have to install R Studio and R in your system, uh, and start little bit of reading, reading about what are the statistic terms you need to learn. I'll tell you what you have to read for the next session, so that you come prepared. And I really want to see you guys learning all these things. So it shouldn't be me just talking and you guys don't understand anything. I want you guys to do it on the go and learn things, right? The end outcome is you should benefit from this entire program, right? uh, then practical experience. Then comes the most interesting part, which is qualification confirmation. this is something which I want you guys to, take it very, very seriously. Whatever you learn, whatever you guys learn through the 7 8 sessions, I want you guys to, participate in a hackathon, see what you can do, see what others are doing, and then you score yourself, right? Whether I was good enough, do I need to put more effort, right? So this is the very important part of the entire thing. So generally what happens, till I am teaching you and you are doing hands on with me, you will be interested. And then what happens when I give you a hackathon, when I ask you to participate in a hackathon, you will be like, too much of work, right? Then comes your interview hacks. I think this is something which you guys are waiting the most. But why I'm not putting it in the start of the session, because then you will not wait for the end output, right? So the whole idea is, post this session, you should be ready to, go give interview, participate in as many as possible walk-ins and all that, and get a job in data science. That is the whole idea, and that's the reason I've put in little more effort to give a hands-on session, design problem statement and all of it. I really want to see some outcome from this batch, and I hope so I'll have it. Then the last step is the case study, which I will give. Hackathon is something you will participate. I'll tell you how can you participate on the open platforms, right, which are available online. You can group up in your class only. Let's say if you are 50 people in the class, make a group of 3 4 and participate in it. Wherever you are stuck, you can reach out to any of us. And then the case study, advice, and question Q&A. Definitely, we will have Q&A. We will have Q&A after every session. So that's the thing. This is the read I want you guys to do. I want you guys, for the next session, to read about statistics. Only these 4 things I want you. So I don't think it's too much to ask for. So I have tried to make it as minimal as possible, but trying to cover as maximum as possible. Which these are the points which actually people ask in interviews, and these are the actual points which you use in your day-to-day data science, right? So types of analysis, okay, categories in statistics, measures of center, and measures of spread. So these are the 4 things I want you guys to, learn, and just read the theory and all. I will summarize quickly in the session, but mostly everything, each one of the topic which I just mentioned here, will be covered in our tutorial. So you will do everything on a data in the R environment, right? So that's the thing. If you are not comfortable with R, you can use Python also. But I suggest you should know both the languages, Python and R, because in data science, so I'll tell you a live example. So when I have to make a production level product in analytics, right, or a production level code, I go for Python, right? But when I have to do statistical analysis, right, all these SVM, time series forecasting, these kind of analysis, I choose R, right? So you need to know both the languages to, actually do justice to the entire data science profile. And I think that's what being asked in the comments also. There's one question, what is the difference between, so I'll take up questions just after ending it. I'm almost done. This session was mostly for you guys to understand what are we going to cover, and now we will start picking up questions. Okay. What is it? uh, is somebody there from Board Infinity?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you just help me with the question in sequence, because I think I missed out some, or what did I?
Let me check, ma'am.
Yeah, that will be great. So guys, make most out of this. If at all you guys are only attending this session, then make the best use of this session. Ask as many questions as possible. And if you are going to continue with this, then any which ways we will be, having Q&A on a regular basis. Okay. Okay, I can see one question. I think from here it starts, Vishal, right? Uh, can a data scientist work alone and be self-employed in market? Yes. Yeah. So long back, even I used to do that freelance thing. Uh, so you can totally you can work as a consultant actually for any firm. I have helped one of the firm to set up a data science team. So yeah, you can. That's good. It's very easy, and many people are doing it. But I am somebody who wants some consistency, and that's the reason this thing doesn't drive me a lot. Is data science can earn through free? Okay, can data scientists learn through freelancing? Yeah, I just told you I used to. Um, then what is, whoa, ma'am, what's the most important technology used for data science? How much coding role in data science? Yeah. So I missed the name. What is his name? Arun. Yeah, Arun. Yeah. So Arun, it is very subjective. See, so there are two profiles in data science as well. One is the analyst profile. I think in one of the sessions we spoke about that as well. I think you were not there. And the other profile is a hardcore data scientist profile, right? So in an analyst profile, the coding is not mandatory. A lot of coding is not required, right? If you know any of the languages, I think people who do not have a very strong coding background go for R, because R is a very natural language, and it's the scripting language is pretty easy, and almost everything is integratable to R, right? So I will not say a lot of coding is required, but you do need to know a lot of data wrangling. Yeah, that's the thing. Then what we need to install in our systems to learn things? I just told, install R, yeah, in your system. Have Sublime Text if you I use it frequently. That's all. I don't think anything else is required. Does Python work? Yeah, Python is good. I just told you Python and R are the two languages which are being used by all the data scientists. I was told that Board Infinity already gives Python training, and R was not there, and that's why I picked R. R is a good language to learn, and very much in demand. It's better to do it on Python. It's nothing like better. I have told you, Devang, nothing is like better. So you cannot say R is better or Python is better, right? It's on subjective to where you have to use. So that's there. What is the difference between, I just spoke R and Python? Almost same thing. It's almost same. It's just Python is very easily integrable to the production environment, and that's why many product companies use Python. But having said that, many things cannot be used in Python. If I have to do time series forecasting, I will not use Python. I will use R only. How can I work on live projects? Can you be little specific what kind of live projects you're talking about? I become confused within the functions of Python and R. Yeah, that's true. So what happens when when you try to do both the things together? Now you get confused. So what you have to do is you have to pick one language. Always learn from analogy, right? What is equivalent in Python, right? Or maybe pick one. See, if you want to learn everything now at one go, you will get confused. You have to pick one, master it, and then move to other. I don't have much idea on R, but I know Python. Are they pulls apart or easily? Yeah, I started with Python. Now I do R as well, so it's not very easy. Actually, R is very easy. I have read somewhere most of the jobs in banking sector. I didn't understand the question of Jyoth. I have read somewhere most of the jobs in banking sector. If anybody from what, okay, most important technology used in data science, how much coding role? This I have answered. Won't it be hectic learning two programming languages? Yes, it's like I told you already. If you take these two languages as two different languages, then yeah, it is hectic. It depends on the person also, from what background you are coming from. See, if you are not from an engineering background, right, I would not ask you guys to learn both the languages. Pick one and stick to it. That's the only thing I would like to emphasize on. Our language is new language. No, it's not a new language. It's a very old language. It's a very good language. Actually, initially statistical analysis used to only happen in R. Python is something which came recently. So I get Python easy to use. That's perfect. Ma'am, how to improve communication skills and presentation skills? Okay. So, communication skill is something you learn on the job when you talk to people and all that, right? So, that's how generally people learn communication skill. Presentation skill is something. Uh, it's mostly it comes on the go. You cannot say how you learn it, right? Many times you start with some basics. When you do something, try to explain it to your peer. That's the best way to pick up onto those skills, because when you are explaining it to your peer, that person will give you some input, that's how you have to do it and all that. Then how important is mathematics? Extremely important. As I've already told you guys, people generally take the maths part of the data science very casually. They generally skip it, and hence the results are not great. Yeah. We do Jupyter. I think Jupyter notebook for Python. Is there any? Yeah, you can use RStudio IDE. You can use it, very easy, available. Just write RStudio IDE. Can you tell us how can data science be applied on marketing? Because I'm a person who knows digital marketing and I am learning data science. So what kind of job option I have? Because I'm not from a technical background. Okay. So, Prerna, I'll tell you, uh, the time is not far when even to get into a digital marketing role, and even if you want to excel in that role, you need to know data science, right? How it is useful, I'll give you very small examples, right? You do not have a technical background, that's perfectly fine, but there are few ways you need to look at data, right? Let's say if you are working for a company, and you have to run a marketing campaign to increase sales of XYZ product, right? You need to target audience little analytically. That is what is expected from you as a marketing professional who is good in analytics, right? So you need to look at what are the. So I'll just give you an example. I have to increase sales of mask and hand sanitizer. That will be the right example right now, right? So what I will do, being a analytics person, I will look out for all the red, orange, and green zone areas in India, pan India. I will see which all districts are under red zone, green zone, and orange zone. I will target all the red zone and orange zone districts. See, the market efficiency is something which you look out for, right? Conversion rate, cost optimization, and all that, right? That can only be achieved only if you do all these things strategically. And how do you devise strategy? Basis the data. So you will look at your database, you will map out all the customers who fall into the red and orange zone. You will send them a customized notification, right? So that's how you can do it. How about data structures and data science? Yeah, data structure is always there, but it's not like you need to master that, I must say. In statistic, what we have to learn. Yes, so I mentioned it here. If somebody from Board Infinity can share this, what they have to learn for the next session would be great. Okay. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Mukul?
ma'am, we'll be sharing a feedback form. So in that similarly, we'll be sharing all the schedules that they can learn.
Yeah, please mention what topics they need to learn in statistics. So
Sure,
that's
sure,
something
sure,
they miss
ma'am.
out on. Yeah. So he will share what you need to learn and read out. I see. I am not expecting you will learn and you will know how to implement it on R together. But all I want you is to understand the basic. How do you look at the data? Okay. What is the difference between R language and Python? I just explained. We want PDF of. I missed out. Where is it? PDF. What did he write? We want PDF of today's session. Sure, I can share it with Mukul. Is Mukul there? I'll share it with Mukul. He can circulate it. In scatter plot, if we were able to see trends, then in such case, what can we do? Okay. Scatter plot, how do you see trends? First of all, trend line is something when you see time respect. Scatter plot is to look at the density. It's a density plot. Why are you asking these questions? Okay. This is not relevant. You need to know when to use. Actually, you should know when to use which plot. Ma'am, okay. Did I miss anything? The top domains to work. What are the top domains to work as a data scientist? Yeah. See, data scientist is not domain specific. Uh, I'll give you my example. I am heading data scientist here, and I am serving 6 line of businesses. I'll name them. I serve Travel Nearby. So Nearby Technology is the parent company. They have multiple subsidiaries, right? So I am heading all the subsidiaries, and all the subsidiaries fall under my umbrella. So Travel Nearby, yeah, you have Pay Nearby, you have NBFC of Nearby, you have international, okay, you have banking, you have utilities. So there are 6 line of businesses which are there, and they're all into different fields, right? So you cannot say that it's domain specific. Data scientist is a profile which is required everywhere and anywhere. What is the difference between data scientist and analyst? Data analyst is somebody who knows how to analyze data. Descriptive analytics, I just mentioned, right, in the section where I want you guys to learn things. That was the thing I wanted you to read out. So descriptive analytics is something which a data analyst need to know, and that is the right sweet point when you get into a data science job. Very easy to get, and supremely easy to learn, right? Data scientist is a profile which is what do you call, matured version of a data analyst, and the person knows machine learning, which I machine learning and data science in specific. So some part of machine learning, some part of deep learning, some part of AI. This is the data scientist. What skills company expect from freshers? Yeah, so from freshers company only expect your aptitude, whether you know the basics or not, right? uh, my company's question paper will be majority basic, consider having probability questions. I'm a big fan of probability, so I always ask probability questions. Even in the interviews I ask probability questions. So that's there. And SQL is something we look out for. Yeah. What must one's track of studying and following shall be for? I'm not understanding the question, Weber. Do we have the libraries in our similar? Yes, you have all the libraries. You have, it's awesome language. It's what do you call it? It's the father of Python, if you can, if you really want to give some name, because it came before Python. I have R and R student in my system. Will that be enough? Completely fine. Awesome. I think you are learning also. Most of the companies prefer Python, right? No, it's not like that. It's a myth. Many people write Python, but if you know R, then also it is fine. So don't have this thing. Most companies prefer Python. They prefer Python. Reason being, if they are production companies, right? So that's the thing. If you really want to land a job, you need to know is what basics are, right? Python is a language you can learn. R is a language you can learn, right? You will pick up. If you know R, you will learn Python. If you know Python, you will automatically learn R. 8 GB RAM enough for running? Yeah, it is completely fine. More than enough. Then I am a fresher into analytics domain. What should I do to profile maths and programming? Yeah, apart from that's enough. You are a fresher. That's all. That's nothing more than that we expect from you. Did automobile industry use data science technology? Yes, they do use. How do you know? Or self-driven cars are coming in? Yeah. What what will you suggest for someone with 4 year experience looking to shift to data science? 4 years is not a very huge time. It depends what background you are in. So I cannot comment currently because I don't know from what background you are coming from. I'm good in Python, but no, not knowing R, both language are mandatory. It's not something I will say mandatory, but it is good to have. If you are okay with Python and you know everything in Python, then it's perfectly fine. How I can make more interest toward data science, like I'm working? little on it. Interest, you can't make interest. You have to be interested to, learn data science. It's not very easy. I know, I don't understand very well business model of DMTP. Oh, nice. So many companies like Premium and PayPoint. Okay, so, okay. My question that what type of project data scientists do in the company? Like, okay. So, we do a lot of projects. I'll give you an example. So, because Payoneer by business model, so we do churn prediction for retailers. In a 15-day in advance, we predict that these are the retailers who are likely to leave our system, and then the sales and the marketing start strategizing to retain them. So, doing that, currently, third month retention of Payoneer buy for retailers is around 85 to 90%, which is awesome. Other than that, we have even the sales piece is completely data driven. We have built an entire APS potential detection model, which detects which areas of India will have higher potential to do APS business, and we strategize basis that. We have our own risk system, so the entire risk anomaly platform, the entire team, we build that platform. So if there is any anomalous transaction by a retailer, no, we directly stop those transactions. That's there. Apart from that, we have our in-house data platform with big data infra. So there are multiple projects which we do. I have experience in logistics, supply chain, mathematics, how for Excel, data analysis, English language. Supply chain is a very logistic company actually use data science heavily here. I don't know. Logistics is one company which I know. A friend of mine works there. So they use data analytics heavily to optimize on the flows. What is the best possible route for the transfer of so and so thing, so that the price optimization works properly. So that's great. There can I see how much linear algebra and calculus is important. See, if you want to get into deep learning and very too much into the neural part of the data science, then yes, you need to know all these things. But if you are trying to get a career in this in initial phases, you don't need. But you need to understand those things, because otherwise you will not understand the output of the model. Can you share PDF? Okay, that they will share PDF of this session. Machine learning and data science same, or does machine learning have its separate definition? Machine learning, I showed you in the deck also, is a part of data science, a small part of data science, right? If you hardcore go for machine learning, it's a different. See, a person who knows mathematics and knows coding, right? When the related to this thing, can be a machine learner. He doesn't need to understand business. But a person who knows machine learning and business will be a data scientist. So this thing something you have to fix it in your brain. From where can you participate in hackathon? We will tell you. You can participate in a lot of places. Analytics Vidya is there, Skillenza is there. I think Board Infinity also organizes multiple hackathons. You can do there. You have Kaggle. So many platforms are there. You mentioned probability question for interview. Should we start studying revising 12 concept for better understanding? See, if you want, I don't know, probability is something which is very close to any data scientist. So if you want, you can definitely revise. You can look at it. What is the area where interviewers focus more while interviewing? They focus on the basics and the logic part, right? You will see first 3 rounds you will clear if you are very clear in your basics and this thing. Final round is something when they ask you to fit a model, and that you will any which way be able to do if you know basics. Okay. Will you prefer someone with I'm not able to follow up BCA, and I have 2 years of experience in sales. Will it be helpful for me to building career in data science? Yes, you are BCA, Bachelor of Computer Applications. You can definitely do it. Will it be helpful employability for data science field? It does. ऐसा नहीं है. There are a lot of people who got fired in this crisis. But getting job in data science is also very easy. See, if you get fired and you are a good resource, somewhere or the other you will get absorbed. That's the thing which I see. Train data to specific model and machine learning is going to hamper accuracy if we have enough data. See, deep learning is something where you need a huge amount of data, and generally, deep learning is used when you need a lot of when you see there's a huge latency in machine learning model, and that's the time when you opt for that. So there's a difference between the two things. What will you suggest for someone who has 5+ year plus MBA and want to shift to data science? You can, but you need to put in a lot of effort. Ma'am, what is okay? Experience automation testing, and yeah, I've seen a lot of automation testing guys moving to data science. How can one land in machine learning engineering job as a fresher? What shall he focus on? So you want to become a full-fledged machine learning engineer, then you have to focus on a lot of coding part, because as a core machine learning engineer, you are expected to deploy deployable level codes. So you need to be very hands-on with the coding aspect, as well as the featuring data featuring aspect. So yes, will COVID-19 pandemic affect future jobs? For it? No, 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 no. You will have more jobs in data science. I'm 100% sure, because now everything is going remote, right? You have to do remote marketing. So imagine how much data is required. You have to do remote sales. You can imagine how much intelligence is required. So you will not have dearth of data science job. Can we get into computer vision deep learning? Yes, you can, but you will have to have a different learning curve altogether. As we have enrolled with Board Infinity, they are training us for about 3 months. According to you, how many months of training does it take to get basic cleared at least? Basics, see, basics to you learn eventually. If you like it, I don't know, the classes needs to be from with the basics, like what it is exactly. When you don't know the basic, that's the challenge, that's the problem where the entire thing goes for a toss. I'm a fresher. I'm doing. I've done MSc in mathematics and computing. Great. Which profile should I choose? Start my career now. You can definitely start for a data scientist profile, because you have good you have mathematics and computing under your belt. So I think you should definitely start for a data scientist profile directly, instead of going for an analyst profile. Will my core chef rank help me in any way to land a job in machine learning? Yes, you should definitely put it on your resume. But it depends what kind of code you have written, whether it was a machine learning code, or you have done some web development and that code you are putting in. So it depends what kind of thing you have done on. Take to learn data science. See, you cannot be very specific about the time. When anybody asks me now, how much time will it take to learn data science completely, only answer I have is it only depends on the person. So if it's like many people who are very smart, they learn it in so basics, they learn it in 2-3 months, right? But if you are not putting in your effort, right? See, a trainer or a coach cannot make you expert until unless you put in your extra effort. So that's the thing. If you want, you can excel it in, like, I guess 6-7 months will be good enough time, if you put in effort with the same enthusiasm. Which what which are the interview rounds of data scientists or data analyst role? Will they take aptitude? First round is always aptitude. I have to prepare for interview for fresher. I didn't get you, Rekha. Ma'am, AI, is it artificial intelligence you're talking about? Or if it is, I didn't get your question. AI have to prepare. I didn't get it. Okay, so AI interview you are talking about artificial intelligence, right? So I need to know your background, like how what are you doing and what are your thoughts. Can you put questions asked in interview? uh you're asking me to leak a question paper. So I can give you examples what kind of questions are asked. I have been working with multiple companies where we were interviewing. uh, See, if you think you will learn those questions, that won't help clearly telling you. But I will just help you with things like you need to know that what works and what doesn't work when a business problem is thrown at you. So generally, the interview question starts with aptitude question, some puzzles they ask, then they ask you about the projects you have done so far. It could be your sometimes you do not have a data science experience, then you can talk about your pet projects. That is a good idea whenever you have to get a job. Then they ask you about their business problem. They will throw some business problem they are working on, and they will give you a part to think through. That is one thing that is very impromptu. They can ask anything. If I am a I'm running a, so my company has a six company under it. So sometime I ask about AEPS business, sometime I ask about loan, right? So it can be anything and everything. So is there any possibility to become a junior data scientist without an experience, or should I focus on analysis as a fresher? You can become a junior data scientist. It's a just a designation, so it doesn't matter. Without an experience, yeah, generally freshers are many companies have a different hierarchy. Like some call freshers as analysts, some call it as a junior data scientist basis their interview process and all that. Presently working in testing. Okay, Rekha. Okay, for testing, how will you land up in a AI job? You have to work a lot on this. You need to start with basics. I urge all each one of you. I would like to ask you guys to start with basics. If you think directly will jump on to machine learning or AI or deep learning or data science as a whole, then it will be very difficult. So you have to start with the basics. You have to do take those baby steps, and then only you will land up, and you will be able to justify your role as a data scientist. Did I miss any question? If I have missed, please put it. Okay, so I started my career. So I started with data science. Okay, um, I'll tell you about my career cycle. I'm an electrical engineer, but was very good in mathematics, right? So always wanted to do something in that. Got a placement from college in Siemens, which is a electrical company, but this was not something which was too interesting for me. So I started looking off campus as well, and I landed up a job with Chiller, right? True caller, you must be aware of. So I worked as an analyst over there, data analyst over there in their data science team. That was the first time. Back then, data science actually started. So nobody was actually aware what data science is, but actually, I know knowingly, unknowingly, I was in that field. I was not knowing it's actually data. It is going to be the big thing later on. So I started as a data analyst, and then I moved to a more specific machine learning role. I became a machine learning data scientist in R&D department of MNC. Mar Labs. There I actually developed a product, M Advisor. The backend I coded it out, and then I moved to a consulting firm wherein I was consulting a lot of clients, US based clients, and then finally I landed up here, and I'm currently heading the entire data science. Okay. Mm, Please, can you tell what is use in finance? Finance, data science is very useful. You get to know a lot. I'll tell you what we do in finance. So finance is somewhere a lot of goof ups can happen, and you will not even get to know, because nowadays the data is huge, right? You cannot export everything in Excel and see. We have built a system. What it does is, for each and every transaction, it checks the wallet, credit and debit entries. So doing that, the financial process has been, accelerated using data science. And if there is any anomaly in that credit debit, it flags it out. Okay, when did you start? Okay, I've completed it. Please, can you tell me what use finance? Kindly share things we start learning in initial level. Okay, I think I have this in my slide. What you need to read. Uh, After every session, whatever I will be teaching you guys, I will be giving you handouts. Kindly share things. Okay, what is hiring process after 4 5 4 5, because of an economy it's very low. How okay, the economy will be a little affected. I'm not denying that, but the hiring process will keep happening. Hiring cannot stop. Business cannot stop. Right? People are required, and nowadays, because a lot of uh, things have moved remote, we need more and more data scientists, we need more and more targeted marketing, we need more and more intelligence. So it will be there. Remote interviews will happen, people will work remotely, they will be onboarded remotely. But what I see is sooner or later, things will be normal. Algos like Hoffman, sorting techniques, etc., are used in information. Yes, they are used. What do you when do you start your career, and how much knowledge you have in this field? Acha. So when I started my career as a data analyst back then, it was not a first of all, data science was not even there. Okay, people were not knowing what data scientists do, what data science is, right? So back then I was very good in SQL, and good in descriptive analytics, right? I can wrangle numbers and all that. But on job I was little very interested in knowing everything. So on job I learned a lot of things, right? I learned Google Analytics, I learned Amplitude. Within, I think, just 3 months I learned so many things. Then I picked up on Google Analytics, RJ Metrics. I learned Ruby on Rail also. Reason being, in our data company, my first company, they were using MongoDB as the database, right? And we were able to query that database. The software team gave us this, it's an unstructured database, right? So Ruby on Rail was required that time, so I learned that as well. So when I joined, beginning may I was just knowing Excel very well. I was knowing SQL very well. Okay. In this separate session for what we learn, is this the separate session from what we learn in BI? I don't know, Rahul, what you are talking about. Can you give us example of any scenario when you are like, ma'am, you have to ask, you have asked us task to study the basics of. My question was, when would you next class be? Next class, I think Mukul will help you with that. Can you, Mukul, can you help them with the schedule for the next class?
Mom, we'll be sharing the schedule like after talking to you. We have scheduled a session in a complete kind of a structured way. So
Yeah,
we'll be sharing with the participants. So don't worry for that. You will get
yeah,
announcement in your LMS as well.
yeah. So Swaraj, as he just mentioned, he will get back to you guys. Okay. So I think I have answered everyone's question. If at all, is there any question, we can take few more. Why the companies are investing huge in this field? Yeah. So if you don't follow me on LinkedIn and all, do follow me. I keep writing a lot of blogs as well. Sometimes I share how can you do some specific business problem in a better way, all these things. So I actually wrote a blog, how do we why people are after data, right? Actually, data is the new oil, which you need to, harvest it well. The amount of information it has, nobody can, give it. And today, as you all know, now knowledge is power, right? So why they're investing so much in this? Because they see the return. I'll tell you, as I just mentioned, the churn prediction model which we have in our company currently, earlier the retention, 3 month retention used to be 70%, 70-75%. Now it is 80 to 90%. Now you know, right? Earlier, 70% of the people used to come back, right, to the business. Now 90% of the people are coming back, correct? So that 20% incremental gain, which is being attributed, is only because of data science, right? So now you can know that 20% is nothing for the so the entire cost of the team is nothing in front of that 20%, right? And that's the reason they are investing heavily in this field. Kindly share your LinkedIn profile, ma'am. Okay, you can search on LinkedIn Geetanjali Prasad. You will get it. Okay, I think I am done. Vaibhav, these questions we will definitely take it up when we will be doing the machine learning portion. I don't want to deviate from the topic completely. I have downloaded the COVID-19 data from Kaggle, but don't understand what to predict. There are only longitude, latitude, confirm death positive. So what we can do with that kind of data? So if you have downloaded the data, you must have seen the problem statement also. You can do a lot of things, yeah. From with latitude, longitude, what you can do, you can do reverse geoencoding. You can get the places where it was. You can actually import that data into Tableau, and you can see which places you have so many deaths, positive cases, right? You can make a live dashboard on your own. Machine data science will not vanish. You need data scientists to make those models, but definitely developers might vanish. So you must have heard of uh, the code which the machine learning model which writes code for you. Yeah. I think I have answered everybody's query. Yeah, 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 yeah. It is totally okay. You can learn maths. You have to learn maths to understand the data. Otherwise, it's all number. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Tej. Thanks, Swaraj. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks. See you in next session. Sandeep, please average package of a data scientist. It varies. If you are really good, it can start. The average could be 8 as well. If you are okayish, it minimum is, I will say, 4.5 or 5, and maximum goes around 12 13, and average is around 7 to 8. Musicma. Musicma is not a very good company to get in. Matlab, I am just telling you out of my experience. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Bye. So Mukul, shall I drop?
Yes, yes. So thank you so much, ma'am, for giving your valuable insights of data. I'm damn sure like today participants have gained the basic structured how to go with the path of a data science. So thank you so much, ma'am, for that.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care.